Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play Rising Star 2 with the band, everyone but Andy. And I am doing my best to get this band back on the right track. I did something wrong at some point. I think that's becoming more and more obvious. All my songs are horrible and nobody likes them. But we do have a tour coming up, and that might help with our popularity, and that might help with our songs in the future. So I'm going to say I'm committed to making this work. I had some doubts. I took a week off from doing any videos on it because it's just been a little painful. Usually by September, I am way further along as far as popularity and success of gigs and things like that. So this has just been a little weird, and I'm not really sure what I've done differently, but there you have it. So we're going to prepare for our series of concerts for our tour which is promoting the album that we released last week, which is called Eclipses. Let's see where we can find that. There we go. And we have distributed a few, and we're going to start to get some information on where it sits in the charts. Well, there it had. We have it. We did get some information on that, didn't we? I think that's the last thing that happened in the last episode. So we're 424th on the charts. And that's fine. For a first album, that's not anything to complain about. But let's go ahead and see where we need to be and what we need to do. So we're starting right here in St. Louis. Tomorrow we've got Carbondale, Springfield, and oh yeah, that's right. Some of the attitudes are really weird, if I recall. They're just kind of all over the place. Now, part of my taking a little time off is because I have been having production issues and getting videos from recorded to finished, basically. And I'm really trying to work through that. I think I might have some success at this point with a different configuration on how I'm doing some of that. Hopefully I'm able to churn a few of these out here in the near future. Never fear, I will leave some sort of message when the end of the series has occurred so that you're not waiting around for another episode and nothing is coming. Okay, with all that said, let's get to it. I think everything is at 100%. It is. We could sit and write a song, but I kind of just want to get the tour going. So I think we will match song parts like we usually do. I know this part is tremendously fun to watch. It would help if I had a strategy other than just find two that match. But there we have it. We're down to 11 already. That goes really fast, doesn't it? So let's grab some of these threes, and then we can get a couple of ones, if I have any. Be interesting to figure out what the right balance of doing low numbers than high numbers are to maximize your points every time. There does seem to be a little bit of a randomness to it. It doesn't always take all the points that you think it will, particularly with the larger numbers. And that's been peculiar to me. I've never really figured out exactly what it is doing. I think it probably flashes a message, but I'm not focused up there. I'm focused down here to see where they bounce and all that. And I am not seeing any ones. So we're going to move on. We're going to go ahead and practice just so that everything's been touched. If I'm being honest, I can't remember when I practiced last. I'm assuming it was in my last night of work, but we'll see. There we go. We have a gig at the Humble Head. Yeah, and it looked like we had kind of second tier places booked for this tour, and that's not unusual. I think that's to be expected with where we stand right now. Now, we don't have a whole lot of cash, so for now, I'm going to be driving the van to our gigs and hoping for the best. Probably should go ahead and mow that lawn as we go by, too. There probably are a couple more of those triple experience days coming up, so it wouldn't be the worst thing to go ahead and have something to do on those days and grab just those couple of extra points. All right. And we're almost to the destination there. Okay. Still have a negative reputation here. That's never a good thing. Let's see if we get any attitudes popping up. Spontaneity. Well, spontaneity is negative right now. Oh, no, it's positive. Okay, well, that's my color blindness kicking in. I thought those were red. Okay, well, I'm going to have to pay closer attention and maybe not eliminate those. All right, let's play our gig, and it is a 12-song gig because we are the headliner. I think what I'm going to do is, well, let's check on attitudes. Is there anything I have to be careful about? Hometown Pride. So who is Jessica? One of my better songs. Not going to be able to play it here. That's the only one I really have to worry about. So next, let's go with popularity, and we just know to skip that one. We'll come back. I want to, you know what? I want to start strong. We're going to start with this one, and we're going to come down in here, get a couple of these. We'll end with Separate Fruit is my thought there. And I might want to, yeah, I think we're going to do that a little different. Do I have one more yellow I can do? I do. Not even sure how many of these I've completely played. Just for fun, let's take a quick look at this. So buzz, it's a good indicator of things you should probably try to play. Anything with any number, it obviously is better than anything with no number. I wanted to see how many times have I played these. 80 people. 100 people. 80. Never played. Okay, let's get that one in there. Nobody Smirks a Prose. Not a great name for a song, but we'll see. Okay, let's get rid of Against Dangers, and we'll toss that one in there. And we'll see what happens. That one will go there. Let's do it. $642 in attendance. That's not bad, and we are driving the interest up. Having a really good first song does not hurt at all with that. And we finally do have that one hit that we're going to be able to work with, so that's good. And we'll get some information on the rest of these. Let's see what the results are. We made a little money. That's good. We made a lot of money in shirts. Okay, not a bad deal. Nobody Smirks at Prose. Look at that. 0.05 popularity. Melissa, which we know is a really good song. 0.6. I'm looking forward to seeing what we get here. It has potential. Look at that. We've got another potential hit. That is great. That is so helpful. And in general, the numbers look a little better. This song, we didn't know a lot about it. Around the world, they enjoyed Closer. Now, that's funny because Closer had done fairly well in a few venues. We'll have to see what happens there. And this one we're probably going to need to work on as well. I'm excited about this, though, because, you know, in the past we'd had mostly threes, and now we've got, well, 5 fives. That's really good. I mean, you want 12 fives. That's what you really want. But this is a step in the right direction, okay? And we're just going to move on to the next location. And whoops, my bad. I meant to click map, not calendar. And then we're just gonna go. So as you can see, we have a couple of extra bucks in the bank now. I will go ahead and drive to the next couple of venues just to save a little bit. And this one's also close. Maybe if we're in Chicago and it's not like on the block we come in on. But for the ones that are close, we'll still try to be a little bit economical. And once again, I want to see if there's any attitudes popping up. Not really seeing any. That's a beard. All right. Once again, I'm going to check the attitudes, and Taking the Day looks like it is not going to do well here, so we'll take that one off the list. I did see that, like, if you have competing ups and downs, that it doesn't always make that obvious to you, so I've been a little bit more cautious. I kind of thought in the past, if it had a down mark at all, it always ended up at the bottom of the list, but if it's got one of each, I guess it considers it averaged out, and it doesn't really worry about it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to flip these. Let's end with Melissa. Let's put Who Is Jessica up there and get that song going to get them fired up. We only have 2 blues. That's a little bit concerning. I want to work on that. And let's also put this one up here. What was the Around the World didn't do great. Let's put Against Dangers in. Oops. We want to go that way, and I've got one more out of place here. Lovely Government. We'll move down here. Fighting the Cheap Seats we didn't play yet. Snarl to Consent we didn't play yet. Wait. Let's take Lovely Government off and put in Wait. And I am really just guessing here, folks, but I want to give everything some exposure. Also, while I'm thinking of it, let's give the Nobody Smirks at Pros a happy tag so that I don't mess that one up. There we go. I think we're good to go. This looks pretty balanced. What are we looking at? Okay, let's do it. Smaller crowd, but that's all right. We are driving the audience. Their interest level is already to 100. Okay, that's definitely picked up. We're seeing much better results there. I think if we can just do a little better with our songs, we will be in really good shape. All right, plenty to see here. Made a little bit of money, not a ton, about half of what we did the day before. Selling some albums, that's good. All right, now again, if I recall, this number has already been subtracted from here. So our take was actually higher, and then we paid our manager. But the crew cost does come out of this. So that's just something to be mindful of when you're kind of playing with the numbers there. All right. Not bad. 2, 3 songs, people tapping their feet to. That's good. And 6, 5 faces. That's good too. All right, we're moving in the right direction. I'm feeling good about that. Nothing huge to learn here. We kind of knew this one. We knew that our blue songs are not all that fantastic. We're going to have to work on that in the very near future. We could work on that tonight, although we don't have the ability to practice any of them. So there's not a huge advantage to writing songs before the end of the tour. And the one downside is they show up on your song list, and I have more than once accidentally clicked them. So just something to consider. I am thinking we're going to dump, well, let's hit one business anyway, but I think we're going to dump into 2 in playing, 1 in writing music, 1 in stage presence. Let's see how that does for us. And we could hit a hotel here, I guess. There's one right across the street. There's also one right around the corner. Let's go ahead and do that. We will go ahead and write a song. Hopefully I don't forget to pay attention to if the song has been practiced or not. That's always embarrassing. You go up and I pick a song that has 0 playability. Yeah, I'm good at that. Okay, let's go ahead and do some, at the very least we should do some merging though. And we do have some 1s this time. I'm gonna hang on to those. Let's get some of these bigger numbers merged first. Here's a 15. We'll take the 29 out of those, and we can do that again. Yeah, let's do it. We have a 35 rhythm. Okay, let's look for some 3s. Here's another 1. There's some 3s. Come on, 3s. That's what I need. Now we can do these 1s. 28 and 60. I'm going to take the 16 for Topher this time. And then, as we know, we had these ones up here. So that worked out well. Only left 1 point on the table. As for the song we're going to write, well, let's go ahead and get that covered. We'll just do what's up. Newses. That's awesome. What's up? Question mark. Okay. We could return to what we could do with what's up and give Anheuser-Busch a little bit of attention. Maybe not. I haven't worked there in a very long time. So, all right, lyrics. Climate change. That one seems to be good. And then we only need a 15 for riff, and we've got one. That's good. And it's Topher. And that wouldn't be the worst thing. We have one by Chad. Song difficulty. That's what I'm trying to measure right now. So we'd be at 70. I don't think I want to kick up the difficulty that high. I think let's go with this. Let's get a good one that we can play well and go with that. Okay, there we go. And there is a triple experience day. Unfortunately, we're on the road. And we need to get to Springfield. Mowing a lawn for the sake of mowing a lawn, it gains you no experience. And it's unfortunately not a triple money day. So there's that too. I do think it wouldn't be the worst idea to make sure our equipment is in good shape. I kind of didn't think to do that. We've got 3 music stores here. This is a discount. We'll hit a discount and a deluxe and just see what we've got. So for strings, looks like he's in decent shape. Oh man, yeah, he's got lots of strings. We'll come back around to their drumsticks. Drumsticks always seem to be the one that I really struggle in finding good ones. Okay, here's one with some stage presence on it, and he does have 3 of these with a +2. That's a +1. We'll go with a couple of those. We'll use those for the rest of this tour. Cymbals, well, we can't really afford them, but those would be great. But we can't afford them. So moving on, let's look at strings for Angel. She is not rich in strings right now, but she probably has what she needs. Yeah, and there's no bonuses here that are additional. What are we looking at here? She has +3 stage. Stage is the important one for now. We're on the road. Yeah, we're good on strings for her, so that'll work. And then we were talking about repair. And I want to repair anything that is gig. Ooh, that's a steep one. Well, we're going to go ahead and do it. Main instruments, I think, are always going to be important to maintain. And that looks like that's all 4 members and their main stuff. And then do we have anything that's just... Okay, this one we need to deal with. Ooh, we have a bunch of 0 condition stuff that's just not getting used. I think the idea was I would do some repairs on some of those, and it just never happened. I think we're going to end up selling a lot of those. Can I sell them or nope? Right click. Did not sell it. Right click to repair. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. So I want to come out of screen, and then we would sell those things. And I'm thinking we want to repair that though. That's getting way down there, and I bet there's decent well, it's not incredible bonuses. It's her other keyboard though. I think we do need to do what we can with that one. Whoops. That didn't go where I thought it would. Grandpa's synth. And we'll go ahead and repair that. And then it was this one. That's another. Ooh, we are out of money again if we do that. I think we're going to be out of money. Okay, but we can sell off some of this equipment that's at 0. It won't give us much, but it'll give us a little bit of pocket change. This one's not being used. This isn't being used. Okay, yep, that'll work. And we'll do the same here. Probably do need to check the bonuses, make sure there's nothing that's like broken, but +9. That would be a bad sell. Okay, and for him, good with that one. That one's okay. Good with getting rid of that. And then finally with Angel. That's a good one. We don't want to get rid of that. We're going to come back and repair that if we can. This one we can get rid of. I don't know. That one is her playing. She's got a +4 there. Probably okay to get rid of this one. And then once again, we're going to come down here to, did it again, to some of these. And yeah, we'll save that one. Man, we're going to be completely broke, but we're going to go ahead and go with it. He's not using this at all. We could actually sell that one. Okay. Yeah, we kind of need that money, although I think it goes to him. Yeah, it goes into his pocket, but that means he'll be able to buy his sticks and that. So that'll save us a little bit. We're down to $500. I think that I've spent enough. So let's move on. Let's get through these last, 4 shows this week. See if we can not spend any more money. Probably break the van going to the next gig, and that tends to be the playbook, right?
Keep the energy up. You can do it.
Well, thank you. I think I can too. All right, play our gig. I think we're probably okay with what we did last time. Yep, we're still in Illinois. Wasn't a bad set. Let's get Snarl to consent in there. Let's pull out Grain. Grain does okay, but and then we could pull against Dangers. Yeah, so what I tend to find happens is I get into this pattern where I'll keep playing the same songs and I'll forget to sub them out, and then all of a sudden they start losing their quality because they haven't been played, so their play skill drops, and then you need that song. And so, but the other thing is I want to play the things that are popular because that will generate revenue. You want to keep playing those. So putting one of those like Melissa or Separate Fruit on the not playing list, it can be costly. Up to 100%. I'm always happy when I'm at 100% before I'm halfway through a playlist. That tends to be, okay, we're doing something right now. And somebody leveled. Okay, sold some shirts. Sold some albums. Sold some singles. Not bad. Not bad. We can live with that. Sold out crowd, 300 people. And you'll notice no threes. Okay, that's great. That means we're starting to turn a corner here, I think. And our abilities, and we're coasting on our own coattails a little bit, but that's a good sign. That's a good sign when, you know, the threes start to become fours in smaller venues. I'm feeling good about that. Of course, it's Topher that leveled. Always going to bump that until he's at 100. Let's do 2-play. Let's give him some lyrics and, whoops, I already did production. I wanted to do stage presence. Probably need to, yeah, we're going to go with 2 stage presence instead of 2 playing. All right, moving on. Next stop, Peoria. Shout out to my friend Andy who's in Peoria. I've known Andy for more years than either of us probably want to recount. Went to school together, and he's a good guy. He's a reporter. Guy I do trust. When he tells me something, I think he's given me all the pieces of information I need to know, and I like that. Whoops, wrong button. That was a number instead of an E to enter. The Combative Authority. I kind of like the name of that. Wonder which of these venues are like underground places that nobody ever actually goes or what. We've got a few here in our area that nobody's ever heard of, but like all the bands play. And it's like, well, how does that happen? How is it possible nobody's heard of it, yet it's a place to be? Let's pull up Michael Twists. I don't know if we've done that one. We're going to get rid of, I think, Short Space. I think that's the one that hasn't been doing great. Her Tray Bends. Oh, that's on the do not play list. So, and double checking that. I think I'm in good shape. I think I like my numbers here. Let's get it going. Skipping around. Uh-oh. Topher broke a drum head. Well, we're going to get rid of this one. That's a little dangerous, but looks like it's okay this time. They don't like that song anyway. Why it's dangerous is if you run out of audience energy, then all of a sudden you're regretting your choice there. 600 sold out. Okay. Good for us. Well, nothing jumps out at me here except for the shirts sold, but man, $1,000 in merch. That's great. Topher broke a drum head. Yeah. You'll notice that with a 600 person audience, we do have some threes mixed in here, and this didn't help. So that's okay. We'll have to look at some other numbers to decide what that's really telling us. Up to Milwaukee. I've had one car stolen in my life, and it was stolen in Milwaukee. If you're from Milwaukee, God bless you, I guess. I don't know. It was a crazy story. My wife and I went to Las Vegas on a park and fly kind of deal. Parked at a hotel. We spent the night at the hotel, flew to Vegas, came home. It was April 1st, and the car was gone. And the funny thing about it is, the flight pattern put us right over the hotel, and I actually said to my wife, I didn't see our car as we were landing. So, true story. Yep, got there, and there was glass where the car had been, and the hotel said, So the police were not terribly helpful because they assumed that it was a April Fool's joke. Yes, that actually happened. They were certain that it was an April Fool's joke. Despite we had driven 100 miles to get there to park, they thought our friends had come and taken our car. Yes. Very disappointing, that. I'm going to move Michael Twists up here. I want to see how it's actually doing from a percentage perspective, and I hope to remember to actually look. Popularity. I want to get Grain back in there. We'll drop Snarl to Consent, which did okay, but I want to, no, that's a do not play. Put in Around the World. I think we'll get rid of Snarl to Consent and add, Around the World. And then we'll get rid of, see, I want to play those all I can. So we'll get rid of Few Laugh Tonight to play Grain. Grain will come up to here. Around the World will come into here. And we're going with it. Another problem, this time Kiwi's keyboard. Well, we'll get rid of Wins again. Hopefully, smaller audience, that might not have been the wise move. Well, we're okay. Energy level stayed high. Yep. So it seems to me you don't lose energy on a song when there's a problem. And that's why I get rid of the blue ones, usually, because I didn't lose anything on the song that didn't go well. So that is a strategy. That's the way I kind of try to approach that. Looking good. Didn't break the bank, but we cleared a couple of bucks there. There was feedback from the PA. Wow, we had two problems. Oh, I didn't pay attention. Yep, they didn't like that song. Okay, that was a mistake. Need to come back and look at that again. Don't really want to evaluate everything on a a gig that didn't go well. So we're just going to move on, get Grain. I think it was Grain out of the rotation for tomorrow. Pay a little bit closer attention. I am in a chauffeur though. Just want to get this one kind of over with. Here we go. Play our gig and get rid of... Okay, there clearly was an attitude song, right? Where they were like, not loving this. Maybe it was, I didn't read it close enough. Talking and reading are not my my strong combination. I might have misunderstood it. It might have been because of the other issues that were going on. I thought it was going to be a not feeling the vibe of that song, but it doesn't look like that. So we'll move on. Let's drop. I'm going to leave them alone. Let's see what happens. If I screw it up, I screw it up. 300 person venue. I'm getting paid $1,200 out the gate, so that's good. Okay, that one did well, 15. That one did extremely well. That one didn't do so great. That one did okay that time, it looked like. And we didn't quite get to 100% halfway through the gig, but that's all right. Everything seems to be going well. We'll be able to look at the data this time. Okay. And just to summarize that, it was a $1,200 flat fee. You add these two numbers, that's $1,200. So your manager's fee is not coming out of this piece of the money. Just to be clear on what I was trying to express earlier in case I really booted it. $1,000 in merch. Okay, that's all looking good. So I wanted to see, this one is doing, the energy level drops 30 because that's what it does. It went up 18 points. That's good. I don't mind an 18. In fact, that is better than this one, which we have been having pretty good success with. So I'm glad I didn't pull that. Whatever was going on wasn't really me. I think it was the factors that jumped in where we had problems. We can hire additional staff to help. I just haven't done that yet. I don't think we have anyway. Maybe I need to take a quick peek at that. Okay, but the songs, we can see how well they did. They all did fairly well, so I'm okay with that. Winds only did 10%. We might move closer up and see how that might change things. All right, we are going to be spending the night in a hotel. The next one is in Champaign. You know what? We might as well drive home. We got an extra day. And we can practice something. We're going to do that. We're also going to end the episode right about here. Look at that. We climbed 153 positions. We earned $5,000 on our album this week. That is fantastic. Those are really good numbers for our first album. Pleased with that. And we're just going to jump home. And we're going to save it right there, and we will pick up at this point in the next episode. I do want to thank you for your time. This is Rising Star 2 by Gilly Games. Fantastic music management simulator. Really, really love this one. Hope you'll continue to watch, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, fair travels.